Hi. Hi. I forgot to turn the speaker on. um, I'm actually here to talk about our daughter Mariah birth and who she was and what she was about. She was an amazing person and she loved life. She loved to write. She loved to draw. She loved to read. She loved all kinds of cultures. She was very beautiful inside and out. I mean, she was an amazing young girl. I mean, she had so much to live for, you know. She had all that taken. She graduated high school in 2023. 2022, she was diagnosed with Ewing sarcoma cancer a few days after her 17th birthday. She was in the hospital for about 3 months. And when she finally went home, she was very happy, but she had 14 rounds of chemo. She had all kinds of x-rays, MRIs. She was put on etoposide when she went home. Um, that was right after she was done with all her chemos and stuff like that. She had 6 weeks of radiation the first round. Then she had radiation in her shoulders. Last time she had radiation was before she passed. It was in May 2024. Um, she had it in her shoulders and her lower back. I kept bugging them over and over again to do that. When you keep bugging doctors, sometimes they don't listen, and all they can do is like put them on pain medication. They pushed her to be on pediatrics hospice. She didn't want that. They made promises to her that, she said, okay, I'll try it for a week or two, and then I want not to do with it, anything to do with it anymore. Well, the doctor told her basically if she stopped doing pediatric hospice, she would have withdrawals with the medications they put her on. She was on hydromorphone and she was on the generic brand of Versed. She was on gabapentin, she was on oxybutyrin, sometimes she was on Benadryl, she had ketamine at times. I didn't know much about ketamine, neither did my husband, so she would have one dose. Like, she had it about 6 times in the last, I don't know, few weeks of her life. Like I said, we had no clue about it. I really should fix my camera, but then it's gonna probably be unsettling. But that's better. um, I usually don't talk in person because I'm like one of those shy people. There's so many of us that talk, on camera, and some of us are shy. Have anxieties and depression. Mariah had all of those. She was ridiculed in school. This is leading up to her book. She was threatened in middle school by some girl. She was friends with these two girls. And she didn't want to stop being friends with either one of them. And this one girl, she got her heart broken by this boy who ended up with her other friend. And Mariah was stuck in the middle. And, when you're friends with both people, you just don't know what to do. So the girl that got her heart broken, she threatened Mariah. In middle school, she threatened to kill her. She basically sent a text message saying, I want to kill you, this and that. See, Mariah was smart. She knew who exactly it was that texted her this information. A lot of that noise is outside. She was made fun of a lot, She was made fun of the way she walked, talked, dressed, everything. And it was crazy. And even in high school, people would make fun of her, especially girls. Girls can be so mean to others, they can be so hurtful and horrible, if even boys, they could be bad, but girls, I mean, it's like, dang, you can make fun of the way they walk, talk, the way they look, where they come from. I mean, that's not right. We should accept everybody, no matter where they come from and who they are. Yeah, I keep looking out my window because the trash truck has come. The snow's not even out, right? I wasn't raised to hate on other people. I really wasn't. This world is made for everybody. But yet there's some people out there that are hateful. They are horrible, horrible, horrible people. And my mom didn't raise me to hate on people. And that probably comes from my background. There's no segregation in our state. We don't really care where you come from, what you look like, I have family members that are part of the LGBTQ community, and I love them a lot, like I've learned a lot over the years, and also I gotta change this because of my sound. Everything happens for a reason, they say, but there's no reason to be mean to people and hateful. I mean, we're all in this world together. And if you want to be hateful towards people, go live on your own damn island. Okay? Go create it. If you have so much money, go plop some freaking dirt in the middle of the ocean and go live there. If you don't like other people because where they come from, because they were born different. I mean, if you look at, people talk about the Bible, it's all about men and women. Really? Okay, you're being a freaking hypocrite. And you're criticizing. Okay? When people are born, that's who they're born as. You can't change them. You can't change their personalities. You can't. I mean, they're just born that way, right? It's true. And when they're born a certain way, how their feelings are, how they react to things, can't change that. Now, people get upset because people change the outside of them. They're just changing who they really are. It's their outsides coming out because that's who they truly are. So again, you people criticizing people who are part of the LGBTQ community, and you want to take what they have and what they fought for and still fighting for. Why? Do you realize without those communities, things would be boring? I mean, seriously, have you noticed all the creativeness they have? What about people with learning disabilities and certain diseases? You want to cast them aside too? And they all have, seriously, they're all very creative. One of our daughter's favorite show was, you would never guess. Probably would. RuPaul comes to mind. And I remember watching RuPaul's Drag Queen race. And it was fun. I mean, you got to see how exciting they were, with all their talents and stuff. And I remember sitting with Mariah and I was like, I wish they could do our makeup, It's not the fact of who they are. Or where they come from. It's the fact that they are so freaking talented. I was like, wow. I would love for me and her to get, it was like our dream to get a makeover, because they're so beautiful. It's like they show different sides of themselves on that drag queen race. I mean, it's like we get to see all these personalities come together, their styles, their creativeness. That's what we were about. That's what we should be about. not being so judgmental. And when me and Mariah watched that show, one of her favorite drag queens, other than RuPaul, of course, was Miss Vanjie. And I know I'm going to get a lot of hate on this because some people that are so hateful in the world, they just don't think the LGBTQ community matters, because they do. They've been around for centuries, since the beginning of time. Get over it. Okay? We're all people. Black, brown, white, whatever. Black, brown, and white are shades of color. They're not a culture. That I'm going to straight up and say. Because they're all over the world. We're all different shades of color. Why do you bring black and white as being a culture? Or brown? It's not. Can we just get over that for once? Cultures are taught in different ways, like where you live at, basically how you were raised. And there are so many cultures, so many, and I'm multicultural, so I don't know what Trumpkin's going to do with that. He's going to cut us in half, cut us in different pieces, because a lot of us are multicultural. And I love that. I love how I'm multicultural, because I get to learn different cultures and stuff like that. And I like learning from other people's cultures. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter if you're black, brown, white, whatever color you are. I look out the window a lot. I'm sorry. But it doesn't matter where you come from or what you look like. Get over that fact. Okay? Some of these religious groups, they want to judge other people because they're jealous. And when are we going to realize that the KKK, the reason why sheets are so expensive is because of them. And then they wear colors, right? Aren't they being hypocrites? They're all about white power, right? Why don't you wear white? Keep wearing white. But in reality, you're peach. Have you noticed that? They're like a peach, like tannish color, and they're being fucking hypocrites. Excuse my language, but they are. They're being hypocrites. You're not fully white. Your skin tone. Have you seen people's skin tone? If they were that freaking white, like white, like the sheets, like the white on the canvas. See, see that painting back there? That was Mariah's painting. She loved to paint. She painted that in like 5 minutes. All our kids have art in their soul. There's a lot of artistry, and that's what I love about people. It's when they put their art and who they are. It's like, put your creativeness into it. It'd be funny, and I think the LGBTQ community should do this. It'd be funny. All of them get together, and all the people that are not so hateful, we all get together, go in front of the freaking White House and start singing. Like, hit the road, Jack. Don't come back no more. I can't believe I was singing. But anyways, I should do that. Everybody around the world starts singing the song, and Trumpkin's going to hate it. Put a sign that says, the real president is Kamala Harris. And yet, some people are like, well, Trumpkin won it fair and square. No, he did not. He cheated, okay? He had Russia help him. He had Elon Musk help him. We all know that. The people that have brains. And also, quit trying to make people forget about the Jeffrey Epstein files, because that's not going to happen. It's not. And it's pretty pathetic that a lot more people aren't standing up with all the people that are protesting. They're protesting for their lives. They're protesting to live. Do you people understand that? And it's really neat how all these different cultures and all these different communities are coming together to stand up against this orange. I don't even know what to call that thing, okay? He makes fun of people that are thick, or overweight, when he is so fat, every time he walks, the earth shakes. If he got stuck in the Grand Canyon, he's so fat he gets stuck in the Grand Canyon, okay? He's so fat he gets stuck in the damn ocean. There would not be no more water in the ocean, okay? If I was to sit down and talk to him, I'd be like, you're disgusting. A lot of us aren't afraid of you. We're not. We're standing up for what's right. Because way back when family members that we knew of that had to keep their mouths shut, this is a different generation, Jack. And our family members taught us how to stand up on our own 2 feet. And every time I see videos of people, no matter where they come from, getting killed for no freaking reason, getting deported for no freaking reason. Oh, last time I checked, Mexico is part of America. Canada is part of America. There are 3 parts of America, and if you think you know geography, hello, America is a continent. It's not a damn country. And when I saw Bad Bunny mention that in the Super Bowl halftime, I was like, yes, finally somebody mentions that. We in the United States are not the only damn Americans, okay? Our country is so small. It's like a little piece of the pie being sandwiched between Canada and Mexico. And you want to start crap with them? You want to start crap with Middle Eastern countries? It makes you wonder why 9/11 happened, right? Who was the governor then in New York? Was that Giuliani, who's friends with Trumpkin? I wonder. And then even now, making deals in Saudi Arabia and crap like that. Has anybody ever mentioned, I'm sure they've mentioned this, WWE, okay? I watch it, me and my family watch it, okay? But I questioned this, I was talking to my husband and our older son, Steven, whose name is on that book, The End of the Rose by Her Daughter. She wrote it for everybody. Everybody can read it. There's no pinpoint of what this person is, what they are, stuff like that, like where they come from. I mean, like in a way that you got to single out people. No, it's not about that. It's like fantasy, mystery. It's about a girl who gets to be queen. She's 19 years old. And who she thought were her friends turn on her. See where I'm going with this? But it is hard to do things nowadays. Especially now. I mean, everything's being taken because why? This freaking orange fat ass wants to have a fit and destroy everybody and hide behind people. He's like, oh yeah, I'm not scared. Oh wait, I won't want to walk out of my home without people right in front of me. And even though I act like I'm Mr. Tough Guy, I'm sure when people watch this, some of them laugh for what I'm saying because it's true. There are more people that are on my side than there are people on his. You want to know why? Because I have enough respect for other people and who they are, where they come from, what they're about. Not everybody has the same belief, but we're all born the same way, right? We all came from a woman's womb. If you cut, we would look like skeletons. It's walking around, blah, blah, blah. I think that'd be kind of boring, But it just makes me sad that our country is pathetic. I mean, it is. People in our country are pathetic. And they're making the country we live in, the United States, of America. You want to know why it's called the United States of America? Because America is a continent and we live in America. Get it? So all these people saying, oh yeah, us Americans, da 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 da. Did you realize Canada and Mexico are part of America? Get that through your thick head, okay? So is South America and Central America. Really? Did you know Puerto Rico? I'm probably saying that wrong. Sorry. Puerto Rico is part of the United States. And Trumpkin was like, oh, I'm going to go meet their president. Okay, people with learning disabilities actually know that that is actually part of the United States. So is Hawaii. What's next? He's trying to make this a country full of supremacists. It's not going to work because there's more of us that are not. And whoever subscribes to me, you're all welcome to it. I'm not going to get offended if you don't. But anyways, I'm actually going to be talking about a book that Mariah wrote. See, there's her name. There's Steven's name. Our son Steven did the cover. That's actually a drawing, and it was like printed onto the book. The books. We got I don't know, 3 boxes of them here at home. But if any of you guys want to order this book, it's online. It's on Amazon, Walmart, Barnes & Noble, eBay. Yeah, it's all worldwide. I don't remember all the stores worldwide. I'm sorry. But they have different prices for this book. And City of Book Publishing's actually published it. It's also copyrighted. So when you open the book, you'll see this. That is Mariah. I took that picture when she graduated. And graduation pictures are expensive. I told her, why don't you just grab your hat? Because I thought it was cute. And she was beautiful. I miss her every day. And she had Ewing sarcoma cancer. Like I said, she was diagnosed after her 17th birthday. It was the worst birthday present here ever. She went through a lot. She went from walking on her tippy toes till, she ended up in the hospital. She wasn't able to walk. She kept getting worse and worse. The chemo medicine was working a little bit, shortened, made the tumor smaller and stuff. But then they stopped doing chemo, and they said after 14 rounds, that's enough. Really? That same regimen does not work anymore. And when she left the hospital, and she could eat, she could drink, stuff like that. But when she ended up with pediatric hospice, she started getting worse. They're like, we're going to make your child comfortable. We're just trying to make her comfortable. Mariah wanted to live. She didn't want to die. But other people, they made the choice for her. So she died. She died very young. 19 years old. Who wrote a book. Got it published. Now it's worldwide. So other people can read it. She wanted to write it, so, if you ever feel alone and you want to pick up a book and just read it and be like, wow, this girl went through a lot. It wasn't the fact that she was just sick. It was the fact she was made fun of, she was ridiculed, she was threatened. But yeah, she put so much into the story. Like, there's magic, there's mystery, there's like heartache. The stuff we all go through. And it doesn't matter where you come from, what color you are, you can still read this book and be like, yeah, I know. I've been there. I've been made fun of. I've lost people. I'm angry. I've been diagnosed with an illness. But this book makes me feel like I'm not alone. And that's why she wrote it. And I will read the back of it. It's called The End of the Rose. A peculiar young girl decided to venture into a forest on a soulless night when all things were broken and not found. Near a river, she discovers a magical aura surrounding a mysterious abandoned cottage. She leaves the forest and returns home, but she plans to go back to the forest another time. She returns to her royal kingdom and is ostracized because she is different from the other children. But even the purest hearts can be darkened, and even the light within theme with I can't even read right. Okay, but even the purest hearts can be darkened, and even the light within them can turn into something evil. Maybe even a creature so powerful you'll never sleep again. This is where the story begins. A lot of stuff happens, and Mariah was writing the second book to this. She wrote. I know I always look out my window. You ever do that? Look out your window and you're like, who the hell is that? But it's nobody. Anyways, she wrote part two to this book, and she only got 4 chapters in. So, um, there's a song that's on my phone. It's called Legends Never Die. And whoever did that song, I can't remember. I'm sorry. But it's this woman that has, I don't know, Legends Never Die. If you look that song up, I think it would fit well with this book because it's like there's also the girl that becomes queen, she ends up in love with this prince and he's in love with her, and they end up almost getting married. And the reason why I say almost is because something horrific happens to her. Her name, sorry, let me get the book right. Caro Enika Medianoche. And they called her Lady Midnight. Mariah came up with that. There's also a character called Lansky, and she does say there's like 100 and I think there's 110 pages in here. 2 of them are pictures of Mariah, and then there's like this wallpaper that I found in Zedge, and whoever designed it is amazing, I have to say, because it's not Mariah's design, it's not our design, whatever, but I'm just saying that it's not. I'm not claiming that, but we decided to put this wallpaper in the book because Mariah said it's okay to be different because our differences are what make us who we are. And we decided to put this in it because she loved roses. She loved roses, hearts, and butterflies. And there's another reason why when I found this, I was like, that is so her, because it's called The End of the Rose. And there's a quote in the book. You can't make a butterfly into something ugly. You can't. Meaning, you shouldn't act like something you're not. And when I read that quote that Mariah put in her book, her book, and that our difference, it's okay to be different because that's our differences are what make us who we are. It's sad. There's some parents out there that do some cruel things to their children, and they don't deserve to be parents at all. But when you love with all your heart, and being a mom has been the greatest gift I've ever been given. And, even though, kids can be a pain in the butt sometimes, gotta love them, no matter what. And My kids have taught me how to love. My husband's taught me that. And but my kids, like our kids, like I carried them inside of me. It's like wow, it's like wow, this growing inside of me, and I did it 4 times. And even though it seems like there's only 3 of them, I will never stop saying 4. Never. Mariah was she was um she wasn't just a daughter, she was my best friend. Me and her would watch Mike and Molly in the hospital, watch the Golden Girls. We would watch WWE, and she loved watching Alexa Bliss, and she liked Beth Phoenix. She liked watching the Bellas. It's funny that they came back, right? I remember when Mariah saw Beth Phoenix come back, she was like so excited. She saw Edge and Beth Phoenix fight Maurice and The Miz. Mariah loved watching Maurice and The Miz. She got me into that. And Total Divas. She got me into liking Alexa Bliss because at first I didn't really like her. I thought she was kind of cocky, but then I got to learn who she is. And Mariah had similarities to her. She didn't reveal her skin a lot. She was like she's like wearing hoodies and her high tops, and she liked to dress up at times if she did, but she wasn't afraid to play in the dirt. She loved listening to Miley, Taylor Swift, Mariah Carey. I actually named her after Mariah Carey. Because Mariah Carey got me through sometimes too. Certain people with their acting or their singing, sometimes gets people through things. And I've been listening to other music that Mariah was into, like Fauzia. She's really good. Taylor Swift, me and her watched her concert that was like it was like 3 hours long. And I only got to watch half of it with her because she ended up in the hospital again. And she loved watching it. She's like, Mom, Taylor Swift, her concerts are really cool. You should watch them. But when she was little, she would listen to Miley Cyrus, Hannah Montana, and I bought the CDs. And it was hard. It was very hard. If Miley or Taylor Swift or Mariah Carey is watching, appreciate you, thank you. Or the Bellas or Alexa Bliss or she likes Stephanie McKidd. That was one of her favorites too. I think she's amazing. Stephanie McKidd is very awesome in wrestling, and she just came back recently. But anyways, you guys should go out and buy this book because it's really good to read. And I will talk to you guys next time when I'm not going to be pulled away in different directions. Just kidding. There's a picture in here that Stephen did. Not only did he do the cover, he did a cover, a picture in the book. This one. He did that one. And it's like a picture of what Carl and Yuka Metanoche look like after what happened to her. I mean, there's a lot of... I can go into detail about this book, but I think you should find out for yourself. And some, Amazon's having it for $19.99. Walmart has it for $19.99, unless they've gone a little lower. I don't know. eBay, I don't know what their problem is. People are selling it for 35, $40. I don't expect you to pay that much. It's not about the money. It's the fact our daughter wanted to share this with the world so other people wouldn't feel like they're alone. Because at times she did. I miss her a lot. And we used to love watching Melissa McCarthy together, like I said, Mike and Molly. But one of her favorite movies was Identity Thief. She liked watching Thunder Force. We watched that a few times, actually about 5 times. She loved Monster High. She liked the LOL dolls. She liked Barbie dolls. In fact, one of her favorite dolls was a Hannah Montana doll that she cut her hair when she was little. Still have it. Little's Pet Shop. I mean, she loved all kinds. Shadow High, Rainbow High. Some Bratz dolls she did like. She liked Funko Pops. It'd be cool to make a Funko Pop of her. I mean, it costs some money to do that. I don't think it's like a whole lot expensive, but it'd be cool to have a Funko Pop of her, or even had a figure of Carl and Nika Metanoche. Make-A-Wish was going to do that, but it costs money to do stuff like that. And she really wanted a figure of her so bad, or a figure of herself. I mean, I wish I could do that in honor of her, but if you look at Carl and Nika Metanoche on the cover, Mariah kind of looks similar to her. And I think Steven did that on purpose. He's an artist himself. He's not well known or anything like that. When I say artist, he loves to draw. He loves to paint. And he's done so many different things. In fact, I have some of his artwork. Let's just get some of his artwork. This one. This is his. This is one of them. How many people have Wednesday and the Corpse Bride together? I mean, he did that himself. And there's a fly going around. Sorry. He did that himself. He's 23 years old. Well, he just turned 24. Day before yesterday. He also did this one. This one is La Primera. That's what he calls it, La Primera. He painted this and drew it himself. This one kind of reminds me of either Nightmare on Elm Street's door, or reminds me of Narnia, when you go through the closet. And the reason why it reminds me of those is because it's called The Red Door. And he painted that. And it just wants me to open the door and see what's on the other side. And that's what he wanted. That's why he painted that. But there's other paintings he has done that some people have bought, I'm trying to get his name out there. When you love your kids so much, you want to get them out their gifts out there. And Mariah's gift was writing and drawing, and she liked Pokemon, In fact, she drew like Pikachu. He was kind of orange. She put red on his stomach, and she was like, I messed up. And I said, no, you didn't. I would tattoo that on me. In fact, I did Sisu. Because she basically holds everything together. A lot of people don't get that about that movie. She held everything together. And until that right moment when that crystal ball had to break, just to make things right again, you had to put the pieces all back together. She was the strongest dragon ever. If you watch that movie, she was. So that's why I tattooed this, because she holds her family all together, and that's kind of like me. I hold my whole family together. Me and my husband do, but plus, sometimes when you think that you have everything all together, sometimes it falls apart, and then you have to figure out how to bring it back, put it all together again. That's what I'm trying to do, is figure out how to pull us all together. Mariah was our strength. I mean, she gave us a lot of courage. She made us laugh. She'd fight with us sometimes. Sometimes when I watch Lilo and Stitch, that was another one she loved. I got this. I think it was on AliExpress or it was Walmart. I can't remember, but I wanted it because it reminded me of when I was little kid. When Munchie back in the 80s. I had one that looked like a red cat, and that's Stitch. And I saw that. I was like, they have different ones on there. They even have Pikachu and Angel, and they better have Angel in part 2. They better, because Angel, I do have Angel. She's up here somewhere. But anyways, she's a little. Mariah had one like this size, and she's all fluffy. But we gave it to our daughter Maiden because she didn't want me to have it. She wanted Maiden to have it. So every time Maiden felt scared or sad, Mariah was still there. She is still here. I don't care what anybody says. When people pass on, they're not here anymore. That's baloney, because our family members are still around. And if anybody tells you that your family members there, don't believe them. Mariah's around. The family members around. In fact, we lost a niece, Beatrice, through lupus, and Presbyterian sent her home with only 17% of her kidney. So my cousin Christina, she died of chronic fatigue syndrome, which they also call ME. And people need to know about lupus and chronic fatigue syndrome, ME. They also need to know about Ewing sarcoma cancer, because there are 10 people a day that are diagnosed with that. We're losing too many family members because of that, or different illnesses in general. And we need to start putting money towards that instead of wars. So if you're all about wars and crap, okay, go live there and have fun. But our country is dying because we're putting money into stupid crap. Do you realize there's billions of dollars being put into that stupid freaking war that shouldn't even be happening right now? Iran, people from Iran, I'm sorry. Coming from one of the people from our country, the United States, a lot of us are against it. A lot of us are sorry you lost so many family members. Losing your homes. Whatever else you're losing because of it. If something happens to where there's comes to our country, and those people from the United States, we need to rise up and stand with Iran. Stand with those countries like, Venezuela and stuff like that. Or other countries like Canada, Mexico, Greenland, and all this other, all these other countries. There's so many. There's so many continents. Do you realize the United States wouldn't be where it's at, wouldn't have the stuff they have if it wasn't for other countries? So, you want to know one thing? I have to commend Asia about. There's a lot of things that I could commend them with, but anyways, marijuana. If you look through history, marijuana's been around for centuries. They used it centuries ago. They've been using it for centuries. They haven't stopped. But yeah, some people are against it, saying, "Oh my gosh, it's making people, commit suicide, making them depressed, blah 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 blah." There's a lot of us that do that doesn't even happen to. You want to talk bad about it? Why don't you just try it first instead of criticizing people? First of all, because a lot of you that criticize it are the ones that don't even try it. It helps with anxiety. It helps with depression. It helps with pain. It helps with food. There's some people that can't even eat food without it. They have stomach problems, whatever else. Do you realize there's a lot of plants that can help with cancer? They didn't want to do that either. Herbal stuff. I mean, our country's so against Midwestern medicine, it's disgusting. I'm all about people, if they're smart, if they're smart and they can help with illnesses, um, you know, different plants that are going to help feed us, create different things. I mean, we wouldn't be artists without plants. I mean, that's where paint comes from, plants. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But it's true. If you look it up, I mean, throughout history, they used like certain plants and stuff for making paint. They use plants for a lot of things. Why are people against that? Why are some against it? Why? And also, those people that are for Trumpkin, are you ready to be able to plant crops and build buildings yourself? Because low income families and stuff like that, they struggle every day and they know how to survive. Are you? Are you going to ask people for help? Why should, my opinion is about Trumpkin, he's disgusting. He's I don't want to insult a pig because I don't want to say he's a pig. I don't want to insult any animals. I don't want to insult any, like, I mean, I wouldn't even insult the devil, okay? I wouldn't. I mean, he's worse. There's no name for him. I mean, can we just stop talking about him for a minute? Don't mention him on anything. It will piss him off. Stop talking about him. But keep talking about the Jeffrey Epstein files over and over and over again. You know what you should do is make signs and go to Washington and put all these signs up. And all these states that want to allow ICE in, you're pathetic. They're killing innocent people. It doesn't matter what color you are. If you're against the orange douchebag, you get harassed. You get killed. We all remember Renee Nicole Good, right? We do remember Alex Preddy, right? We do remember many more. There's many, 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 many more. And recently, a little girl, 3 years old, a baby, watched her own dad die in front of her. For what? What the hell is up with that? All these people, the innocent people being killed right in front of their family and friends, in front of people that didn't really know them very well. I was like, oh my gosh, why? Why were they killed? And then Fox News, they lie about crap. We all know that. Fox used to be okay years ago. If I was Chef Ramsay and I was, other TV shows, I would not even be on Fox. I wouldn't. Because Fox allows Fox News. They allow them to talk crap about innocent people. Spread lies and not speak the truth. That's why I watch Midas Touch. And I'm going to put that in there. I watch Midas Touch, and I also watch Brian Tyler Cohen. Brian Tyler Cohen, right? I watch him, and I watch Luke. I can't remember his last name. I'm sorry. I also watch Christina Talks. I watch Christina a lot. You know, she's funny. I mean, I love her accent. I love how she's true to the core. I mean, I would love to talk to her seriously because she's one of those people that you would love to watch that speaks the truth, and she's not afraid to say it. And um, I think that's what's important. Like some people are against social media and some people are not, and there's good and bad in everything. Even regular news is bad, and I'm glad there's people like her, like Christina, and then there's like Brian, and then there's like Luke, and all these other people Midas Touch. There's these people on YouTube that do speak the truth, and they do show the truth. Those are the people you should listen to. But don't listen to those ones that like, oh my gosh, the celebrity died today, and you end up finding out that celebrity didn't die. I mean, those people are idiots. Or like, well, yeah, Trumpkin is going to stand up for Michael Jackson, and they were really good friends, and then you find out what? Who was the one that hurt children here? It wasn't Michael Jackson. Where was Trumpkin then when he was being falsely accused? Where was he then when he was murdered? Because Michael Jackson was murdered. He did not take his own life. And a lot of people know that who have freaking brains. And then it showed in documents he was trying to save children because he was an informant. He was trying to save children. If he was actually trying to harm children, why didn't he harm his own? Why? How come his kids weren't questioned? How come so many people are saying that? Oh, but Michael Jackson, he did this, he did that. But yeah, how many kids did you do it to? How many? None. And yet they found a bunch of documents with Trumpkin on it? 3 million. Is it 3 million? I could be wrong. 3 million files? He's in there 3,000 times or more. And I think it's more than that because that's why, sorry, there was a fly. That's why he doesn't want to release those files. Because he's worse than what you think. Worse than what you know. He is. If he was so innocent, why is he still hiding those files? Even some people have said they read some of those files to where it's a lot worse than what you know. Think about it. Kids being sexually assaulted, being trafficked, and there's way worse than that. Some of you people that are following him need to quit thinking that he's so innocent when he's not. And coming from a mother who actually gives a damn about being a mom, her children, losing one of her children because, oh, by the way, there's not enough money for a cure. 1% goes to pediatrics hospitals. 1% goes to pediatrics, okay? 1%. The rest goes everywhere else. Not everybody is being treated the same way in every state either. Not all states have what other states have, and they should. Why does it have to be so different in every state? I mean, if you were to transfer over to another state, you'd get screwed over because you have to start all over again in that state. Why should they? Why should their lives be changed because you move to another state? You should take what you have, whether it's Medicaid, Medicare, food stamps, they should all be the same in every state. Healthcare should be the same in every freaking state. But it's not. We should all have the same thing. We should all live the same way. And then you got some states that are so against having certain people live in their communities. I don't care who's living next to me, as long as they're a good person and they're happy living their lives. I mean, why should I care? Why should somebody be up in my business, up in my family's business? That's the problem in our country. Some people have their hand right in the cookie jar and they just don't want to get it out. And those are rich billionaires who don't give two damns about our country at all. Why should they get all this money for what? Sitting on their fat ass where everybody else is creating shit? You think Elon Musk, because he claims he's the richest man in the world? There's people in other countries that are richer than him. Why should he have $400 billion? Really? I think it should be taken away from him. I mean, didn't his family cause genocide in Africa? I'm just wondering. Is that true? Is that why his family's so rich and crap? Oh, because he owns SpaceX and he owns part of NASA and then he owns this and that. So if he owns part of that, then he's in your business. You know, in my state, they banned that cell phone company. You know those phones? I think it's called Starlink. We don't have Starlink here. We don't have nothing to do with him. But yet there's Tesla not too far from here. Explain to me why Tesla is on a Native American land. I'm just wondering. Right next to their casino. Why is it there? I mean, if you know what state I'm in, you know. It's like right there, not far from me and my family. It's not. And every time I see it, it makes me so disgusted. And then I see some people that have Teslas. It's like, really, you want to buy a car that's a piece of crap? It's the number one piece of crap vehicle made right now. If that vehicle was supposed to get hit, it was smash. Do you realize those Swatsta cars I drive in, those tin cans on wheels? Hey, India, you need to sue. Because those freaking tin cans on wheels that Tesla has is a carbon copy of your trash can. Anybody look that up? Look it up. It's the same thing. You need to sue. That is your design. Don't let Elon Musk get away with this crap. And also, anybody who bought those, do you realize when it catches on fire, you're not going to be able to get out? Oh, and if you open the trunk and it falls right on your hand, it cuts it right off. Their battery is like this small. And they got tubes connected to it. And their lining of the strip lining, you know, of the door, is actually super glued. So, if that's what you want to do it. But just so you know, go buy my daughter's book. It's amazing. Mariah, Archibeque,